Alright, fuckheads, we're starting off with the Berserker. You are a warrior who's a roided out jock who headbutts enemies and hits like a fucking truck. You also get an offhand horse, which is pretty cool. Moving on to the Spellbreaker. You're a very defensive, dagger-wielding badass who counters magic and enhances crits. Kind of useless in everywhere besides World vs. World and PvP. I actually think World vs. World is not really even that good anymore, but you know what? Fuck it. Play it if you want. You know what? Fuck the meta, bro. All my homies hate the meta. Alright, lastly, it's Bladesworn. You're basically an anime weeb who wields a gun saber. It's a gun blade, let's be real. And you charge up super goober powerful attacks. And you get an offhand pistol, which is pretty cool. Moving on to the Guardian. Dragon Hunter, pretty much the name. You wield a longbow and you're pretty beast at power damage. It's pretty much just core Guardian 2.0 as a lot of the Harder Thorn specs are. You get, your virtues replaced with basically more powerful, cooler virtues. And yeah, I don't know, it's pretty lame, I ain't gonna lie. It's one of the least, cool elite specs in the game. Although it's really good at power damage, so if you want to go power damage, ooh, it's sexy. Alright, Firebrand, you're basically that one kid at school who loves books for some reason. Even though everyone else right now is jerking off to Fortnite hentai, you are old school, you love books. So you're basically, a cunt who wields books and does a shitload of stuff. You could do healing, you could do, there's a third tome that's kind of pointless, but you could do lots of condition damage, pretty shit at power, but you could do that if you want. And you also wield a man-hand axe, which is sort of combines magic attacks and physical attacks, which is fucking sick, bro. Alright, lastly is the Willbender. You're basically a fast-paced fuckhead who wields an offhand sword and charges around the battlefield. You're pretty much a thief, let's be real. Moving on to the weirdest class in the entire game, the Heavy Armored Revenant. Herald is the first elite specialization. You basically channeled the legend of Glint, which is like an old-ass dragon. You support allies through very clunky-ass upkeep skills, and you basically do jack shit for damage. It's pretty fun, though, but it's pretty clunky, I ain't gonna lie. I hope we get it reworked in June. Moving on to the Renegade, as I like to call it. You channel some char bitch. I don't remember really what her name is. You have great boon support. You lay down these AoE spirits that buff allies in its radius, and you wield a short bow. Great for condition damage, great for power damage, really cool spec overall. Lastly is my personal favorite, the Vindicator. You're basically a fucking schizo who wields a greatsword and butt fucks enemies with powerful but slow attacks because you're wielding a greatsword. And you leap super high in the air and you crash down doing insane damage instead of dodging. Basically the Dragoon from Final Fantasy XIV, but way fucking cooler. Alright, on to my personal main class, which is the Ranger. The Druid is the first elite specialization. You're basically a hippie cunt who wields a staff and uses nature magic to support and heal allies. I don't like this spec. It's kind of a piece of shit, but I don't know, try it anyway. The spec that I hate the most is Soul Beast, which you basically a furry who merges with their pet and you gain bonus stats and more abilities. It completely gets rid of the main pet mechanic, but if you want that, Soul Beast is your best option. And for some reason you're playing a Ranger, why the hell would you play a Ranger if you don't want pets? But yeah, go for it. There's Soul Beast. My personal favorite elite spec in the game, Untamed. You're basically a nature whore with lots and lots of rage issues that wields a hammer and sort of tosses around this weird green Shrek jizz buff that either you or your pet can have. And grants different sort of effects. So you put it on your pet and you become way more defensive, and then you put it on yourself and you all of a sudden go apeshit. One of the things that I love about this elite spec is the voice lines. I wanted to mention this real quick. So whenever your pet's unleashed, your voice lines are very soothing and natural, right? Very calm, collected. But whenever you're unleashed, your voice lines are you're really fucking pissed off. You're just rageful, really pissed. There's this one ability, it's unleashed, and then there's pounded into dust, and I don't know, it's so cool, I love it. Hey, moving on to the class that is best for the pussies out there. That's a thief. The Daredevil is basically a person who can't see shit, but it tries its best to hit enemies in melee combat with a staff. Very similar to the Renegade, the Revenant, and the fact that they, for some fucking reason, don't like seeing. I don't know why! The Deadeye. It's basically a bounty hunter who uses a rifle to essentially be like a sniper to be an even bigger pussy in combat. We have the Spectre. You're an edgy boy who uses a scepter. Don't get it confused. You wield a scepter, but for some reason your name is Spectre. It's fucking stupid. And you cast shadow magic to destroy your enemies and support allies. So, yeah, it's pretty cool. The Engineer. We have the Scrapper. So basically, you went to college to study drones for some dumbass reason, and you wield a hammer. You also can summon these drones that fly above you and like damage enemies and supports allies in some ways, like giving barrier and shit like that. It's pretty cool. I find it pretty fun. Smith Muckluck described it basically perfectly. You're basically the Green Lantern. You make random shit with light, and you basically just bonk your enemies with it, and you wield a main hand sword. It's pretty. It's one of the coolest elite specs in the game, in my opinion. It's fucking cool as shit. Is the Machinist? Oh wait, no, the Mechanist. You're basically a ranger, but instead of a pet, you get a big ass mech to deal damage or support allies. Really fun. It's better than Ranger in basically every single way. So if you want to really get as much effect out of your pet as possible, you don't even play the pet class. You just go play the Engineer elite spec. It's fucking stupid. But anyway, yeah, Mechanist, really fun. Up is the Necromancer, my previous main class. First we have the Reaper. You're basically a Satanist emo who loves horror movies and you wield a greatsword. It's literally the name. You're the fucking Grim Reaper, okay? It's a Death Knight fucking melee powerhouse. It's so much fun. Urge, fuck Joko. All my homies hate Joko. You basically wield an offhand torch to shit on enemies with conditions, and you replace your regular shroud with these AoE sand shades that damage foes and support allies. It's pretty fucking tits, I ain't gonna lie. Harbinger, the newest elite spec for it. You're basically a drunk Russian asshole who, tosses these elixirs around, uses a pistol, you gain a new shroud, and it gives this, like, negative effect. You guys know how barriers a thing, which is like an overshield. This basically reduces your maximum health and kind of just, you suffer from this blight, it's called. But however, you do more damage. There's a few traits where you can do more damage the higher blight you have. So you're kind of trading off that protection that you get from the previous elite specs, or a Reaper and Core, rather. And you should have become more glass cannony, but you just do a lot more damage than the other elite specs. I mean, it's one of the highest damaging elite specs in the game right now. It's pretty fucking insane. Moving on to the class that always gets fucking down because they're ridiculously low health and an overcomplicated playstyle. The Elementalist. Tempest, you're basically some weird-ass dude from Avatar. I kind of forget his name, like Muckluck said something like that. You overcharge your element, and you get like an offhand warhorn. Thematically, it's boring as shit, but gameplay-wise, it's super fucking fun. I really like it. The Weaver. You could weave two elements together to butt-fuck your enemies. You use a sword to become like a Spellblade, so if you want to do like a Spellblade sort of class, this is awesome. You get access to dual attacks, which is like a thief sort of thing, but this time your dual attacks are kind of based off of what your mix of attunements you're in. It's really fucking cool, I ain't gonna lie. You bonk enemies with a magical hammer and you lay down these AoEs which have like different effects and different boon outputs and stuff like that, which depend on what element you're attuned to. So fire, you lay down this fire elemental field, and air, you lay the air field, and I don't know, it's cool as shit. I really enjoy it. Is the Mesmer. I would honestly tie this with Thieves for being the biggest pussies in the game. Chronomancer, you're a soft time traveler who wields an offhand shield. It's literally fucking Mesmer 2.0. Let's be real. Like that's literally what it is. It's just Mesmer 2.0. I mean, it's cool, but I don't know. I always found it kind of lazy personally. You replace your dodge with basically an ability that absorbs an incoming attack. Like, did you guys ever see Captain America Civil War and Vision can kind of phase through attacks and shit? It's really cool. That's basically your sort of thing. You absorb the attack and continuously damage, and then you basically just confuse the all-living shit out of your enemies. It's very deceptive, really leans into the illusionist playstyle way more. It's pretty fun. You get an axe, I think I already said that. You get a main hand axe, which is pretty cool. And yeah. So you replace your clones with these hovering blades that you can launch at your enemies, doing various different effects, and you wield a dagger, one of the highest damaging elite specs right now. It's fucking insane. And yeah, that will cover all of the elite specs in the game with a short description. I hope you guys found this useful. It's supposed to be like a comedy sort of guide. It wasn't anything really that serious. But yeah, honestly, if you really want to see the elite specs, just go on the wiki, bro. Don't watch any video on here. Just go on the fucking wiki. That's what I'd suggest. Anyway, yeah, peace.